Hello and welcome back to Idle Kingdom Defense. So today, 17-170, and we're still going strong on this stage, but let's get started. So today is Super Hero Seal Day. If you're unfamiliar with this, this is 2 days of 2 days of portal tickets rolled over to Hero Seals Day. And on top of that, we're going to buy 5 additional tickets for a grand total of 25 portal tickets. This is great. This will maximize the amount of hero seals you can get. This is especially good if you're still summoning. Now, I'm not summoning. I am basically just warehousing stuff for the eventual patch where they're going to add more heroes or add another tier. There's a lot of possibilities that are going into this. That said, we're also doing the dragon because the dragon is a beautiful day and we will be doing the dragon 20 times. And again, as always, shining weapon scrolls. Armor stones, or weapon stones, and shiny weapon stones are basically what we're looking for here. Now, if you don't have all the heroes to Mythic Plus like I do, you would also be looking for Ascension stones. And I do actually need to work on my dragon. He's only level 57. I probably could get him a bit higher, but as I've stated previously, my focus right now is, and again, I haven't done it yet, I probably could do this, but I mean, it's one of those things. Is working on getting the total war as high as possible. Now, I have cleared 9-3, but I didn't have any success on 9-4. I am working on pumping up Christian's Relic. I'm probably going to try again when he gets to 150. We'll see how lucky I get, and we'll take it from there, of course. The tricky thing with using Christian over one of the warriors is, though, that I will have to manually snipe the dogs, because the problem really will be the dogs that are on the castle. So it's not going to be as much AFK in play as I would like, because what I need to do is use Christian's attack to snipe the dogs. And hopefully, well, there we go, we do actually get those shining weapon scrolls. And hopefully, though, once I get past the dog stages, which I believe are just 9-4, 9-5, and 9-6, everything else is just on the warriors and actually doing a little bit of, you can actually game it a little bit at the start, so the warriors pick everything up. I didn't know that. Of course, Christian will still be handy there, because if, whatever he attacks, hopefully he can destroy it, and if he kills it, then, the warriors will move on to do other things and pick up more of the monsters. Always a plus. Also, Sophia the stronger your Sophia is, the better it is too. So just to finish out the day, we're going to go ahead and level Christian up. And if you're wondering why I have so much gold and soul stones, number one, I'm making this video late, and number two, this is the extra from the early day I did where I didn't really have much on a couple days ago. So this is the rollover for Monday. As you can see, this is Monday. Very much the first day of the week, and we do actually get up to 10,800, so we will get that achievement. I mean, complete that quest, achievement quest. Pretty similar. And all right, so that completes the day. Now we do obviously. Now, if you are unaware, getting Sky Castle 3, that's where the extra support slot comes from. Wild Castle is the extra warrior slot. If you have a choice between the two, Sky Castle first, then Wild Castle. And as you can see, we finished our renovations, we have finished Total War, and we have purchased everything in the Archer shop. And if you're wondering why everything, well, 478 million steel, what else am I going to do with it? Finally, let's purchase some heroes. And I actually do have the most Ascension Stones, I think, on the server now. Not sure. I set the record with 5.5 million, and that's with me actually not actively chasing Ascension Stones for either the dragon or the wolf. And the reality is that's just for me playing a long time. The majority of what you see is I've just played, and I played every day, and as you can see, I have over 330 videos at this point, which is basically I've played this game every day for 11 months, believe it or not. That's quite a streak. I haven't missed a day yet. I did come close 2 different times. But so far, so good. We've been able to keep the streak alive. 5 Christian. Very nice. And I basically do the same thing, for the most part, that you see here. One thing I do is people have mentioned to me that the sweeping total war sucks, and I 100% agree that it does suck. I actually had to write a macro to do that, and it sweeps it for me. Because that was one of the. Unfortunately, the game has a lot of tedious features in it, especially when you're at my level. It was a lot more. I don't want to say fun, but it was a much different experience when you had more options. And that sounds loaded. But hopefully you understand what I mean. Like, with more options available, there was definitely a different feel to the game, is probably the best way to put it. And so I didn't mind spending more time in the game, but now where I'm at, where unfortunately very few activities actually progress me. That's ignore defense penetration, that's terrible. Speeding up some of the, what I would say is just gathering parts of the game, is something that really makes the game more enjoyable for me. And again, I can understand the criticism of, gathering, but oh, I was supposed to do the orb. Well, I guess the orb will be done tomorrow. I missed that. And as you can see, those 2 rings led to nothing. Now I would be usually using this ring to enhance for Sophia, but the issue is I've been unable to. Maybe ring was behind. I don't know. We'll see. And very unfortunate defense penetration. But anyways, the issue with the ring is I haven't been able to get ahead. The reason I promoted Sophie as much as I did is because basically I had more materials than levels I couldn't awaken my ring enough to actually consume all the legendary or all the artifact material I was getting. So I actually went and I was like, well, I might as well level Sophia's ring. That's better than just dismantling it for crystals. That is a choice that I will say I slightly regret. I don't think it was a bad choice by any stretch of the means, because again, you're going to have to dismantle so much anyway, so dismantling today versus dismantling tomorrow, you're just kind of time shifting when you do it. That does mean you want to dismantle like the minimum amount at the right time. Like, for example, I missed what that was. I think it was crit damage. So if it was, yeah! If it wasn't, well, you can correct me in the comments for not paying attention. That's my fault for trying to explain something. So, for example, at this point, it would make sense for me to dismantle because, again, I don't have enough to promote again. This means I can optimize the amount of material I actually use to level my artifacts. But again, if I had too much material and I couldn't level my artifacts due to the awakening gating the maximum level, a valid strategy would be just to dismantle all the excess, because eventually you're going to need that anyways. And much to my surprise, all of a sudden, I swear, like when I was originally doing this, I'm like, oh, I get plenty of 4-star materials. There shouldn't be an issue. And I genuinely believe that's what happened. Then if you watch my videos, there was a progression where I was actually starved of awakening materials, and I didn't know what to do. It was so bad, it was to the point I was awakening off video just because I didn't want to waste material, because of how much extra stuff I had to dismantle versus, extra stuff I could consume versus actually, awakening. That said, this is not a problem now. I don't know what shifted the tides, but the tides have definitely shifted, and let's see what this gives us. And crit damage reduced, worthless. One of the most worthless ones, especially for a support hero. That said, it is a 102 ring, and we're finally getting close to that plus 100% attack. This has put Christian at 4.4 million attack almost. So, as I continue to buff Christian up, we're going to see more and more results in King's Rune. That said, we also need to, I completely forgot to do astrology. And this is actually really important because it gives you, extra rune seals, and rune skips, which I desperately need rune skips because I have gotten some comments about how the game is, takes a long time. In some cases, I find that acceptable. So, for example, for leveling progression and stuff like that, I don't mind it taking a long time. Again, as long as, because that's the thing is you automate it. Now, I do think that's a problem with the game as a whole. I believe they put too much emphasis on monster health versus the monsters actually being threatening. And what I mean by that is the monsters just don't do enough damage. The reality is monster damage should be higher and monster health should be lower. But the caveat to that is to actually do that successfully, leveling your castle with gold, engraving your castle, both need to be uncapped. And and the increase in defense also needs to be significant to improve the survivability of your castle. So, for example, all I get is extra archer attack, and I get a small amount of health. But health does not provide me with damage mitigation, and that's the thing. If they increase the monster attack, leveling my castle with gold needs to also increase my mitigation, not just give me more health. That said, I feel like this is it'd be relatively easy to balance it around that, and still retain most of the features that make the game enjoyable to play. That said, I have reached out to the developers about doing this before, and as always, we'll see what happens. That said, let's look at Christian's runes now. I believe yesterday I got the monster of all runes, 32.95 out of a maximum of 33.45. So that is not getting changed. And of course, I don't believe we got nearly enough to do Sophia. So, I mean, the only holdout here is I need to get this rune enhanced on both Christian and Sophia. Once that's plus 12, we're just going to go back and get this one to plus 12 and this to plus 12 and, for Sophia anyways, just walk it back and get all the runes to plus 12. For Sophia, the only ones that matter are the attack runes. So, as you can see, there's really not too many. Once we get rolling on this, we'll be able to roll back and get all these up. And for Christian, and this would be the same for any damage dealer, it's going to be crit damage and attack. So you would also do crit damage. That's why this one is clearly plus 12. So again, as we get closer to completing this, it's going to become much more exciting to me. Then once we can fully complete Christian, we'll be working on a different hero. At this time, the hero that I have chosen is Marion, and there's a reason for that, and the reason is I don't believe Austin will be able to scale well enough with with the tools I have available. And so what I mean by that is because Christian scaling is based not only on the cooldown duration of this as well as the ring. If you look at someone like Austin, who is not in the party, he'll be added to the party later, with a 9-second cooldown, this is tremendously worse compared to what Marion could do. And this also is a shift to most of your damage being done by skills. Now again, Marion, 8 seconds, not great. I'd be interested to see if Camila actually is better, because she has a 6-second cooldown. Tough to say. I mean, maybe we'll have to do some math on that. Because an 8-second cooldown is quite a bit. And compared to Camila, which is a 6-second cooldown. And again, both Camila and Marion have the, everything's going to be about this. Camila gets defense penetration, which is useless, and Marion doesn't even get that. She just gets a slow and a knockup. So, interesting. Interesting that Camila could be potentially better because of the actual much lower cooldown. Roderick, I think 7 seconds? Yeah, most are 7 seconds, so Camila to be on a 6-second cooldown is unusual. Alright, that said, all we need to do is finish leveling up the castle. We unfortunately have left behind the 69 nice 1,000 level, and we're now in 70,099. And that puts our castle at 10.5 million health. So we have finally gotten halfway to 11 million. And I'm looking forward to actually having this number roll over to 11 million. Again, I do think this is kind of a tragedy that this displays this way, because this actually has given us the illusion for I don't know how many levels that we actually don't get more castle health. That said, once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And as always, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.